How did it even go live over there before this was even ready? Wow. Wow. Hold on, I gotta get Instagram on, y'all. You know how that goes. What's the? Hey, everybody. Hold on, I'm setting up Instagram. Hold on, Instagram. I'm getting your title correct. You know, you got to do it after you go live. You know how this works. Hey. All right. All right, Instagram. You should be straight now. I'm going to pin the comment. All right, peeps. What up? What up? What up? What up? Hey, everybody. Okay. Now, let's talk about this little setup real fast. I know we are not in the kitchen, and some of this might come across a little like it might be backwards on the screen behind me. I can't control that, all right? It might be backwards, but if you want to follow along with the presentation, you can. All you got to do is go to dariuscooks.tv/focus, okay? dariuscooks.tv/focus, and you'll be able to rock with me. I'm in my office. There we go. Look at that. YouTube, that's a lot clearer, huh? I'm in my office, and I want you to grab your favorite beverage. Okay, I've got some sweet tea. I'm gonna be sipping on while we do this. All right, y'all comfortable? Y'all ready for this? Are y'all ready for this? I know this is very, very different. So typically when I go live, what will happen is that you guys will see me cooking live and things like that, right? But so many people keep asking me like, Darius, how do you do it? Like, how do you do what you do? Like, how do you make this money online? And so what I wanted to do was put together an 8-week course that shows you how to make this all happen. All right, so I've got an 8-week course that is ready for you. All right, if you're ready to sign up, you can do that by going to dariuscooks.tv/focus. All the information is there. But before we do that, I wanted to lay the groundwork. All right, I wanted to lay the groundwork and really sort of dig in and talk about some things that I think that's super important that'll get your mind right. All right, so hopefully you've got your pen, hopefully you've got your paper, and we can get started with this party. Y'all ready? Let me hear you. Are y'all ready to go? Y'all ready? Y'all rocking with me? If you are not able to download the presentation, you should be able to. If you signed up to the email, I emailed you a bunch of times today, including the wrong link. I'm sorry. And then I went ahead and emailed you the correct link. So you should be able to log in with your email and actually download the presentation. You should be able to print it and all that fun stuff. And you should be ready to rock. You should be ready to roll. All right, you really should. Everything's there for you. Y'all got your presentation out? Y'all ready? All right, let's dig in. Let's do it. Get you some paper and get you a pen and let's go to work. All right, so here's the deal. And you might want to hide the chat, FYI, okay? If you have the chat wherever you are. So right now I'm live on Facebook, my business page. I'm live on YouTube. What's up, YouTube? I'm live on my Facebook profile. I'm live on Periscope, and I'm live on Instagram. So you might want to hide the chat so you don't miss this good. All right, let's go. So how is this structured? All right, so this is going to be structured in 3 ways. All right, and if you can't see this, just go to dariuscooks.tv/focus and you will get emailed the presentation. All right, that part. So we're going to do this in 3 days, right? 3 complete parts. So what I wanted to do was figure out what was the groundwork necessary for this whole idea of making money online, right? I know my chair is blocking. I'm sorry, okay? But you want to see me or you want to see the presentation? You want to see me, right? All right, cool. What was the groundwork necessary to make this kind of stuff happen? You know, like before, because so many people, like, they may have like an idea or they may say, hey, I've got a product I want to do, or I've got a service. But what ends up happening, in my opinion, is that nobody prepares you for the mental thing that has to happen with your mind to prepare your mind to make this stuff happen. So before I even introduce you to this 8-week course, what I wanted to do was get your mind right. All right. And I wanted to do that with the framework that I use over the last 5, 6, 7 years to make Darius Cook's stuff happen. So 3 days we're going to do this. The first day, which is today, we're going to talk about a millionaire mindset. All right, that's first. Tomorrow, we're going to be talking about what is your focus, okay? And then day 3 is I want to give you your go game plan. Because what happens is that you get all this information, right? You get all this information, and then what happens is once you get the information, you're like, okay, where do I go? And so many people I feel like have analysis paralysis, where it's just like, I don't know what to do. I don't know which way to go. So I wanted to give you practical tools and steps and things that I actually did for myself to get you started absolutely free and get you on your way. All right. So how's it structured? I'm calling this a simulcast. Okay, because I'm broadcasting on more than one platform. Okay, so the next 2 nights and tonight we're simulcasting at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right, like I said, we're live on Facebooks and Periscopes and Instagrams and YouTubes and the whole bit. All right, I want you to grab a copy of the PDF. You can do that by going to dariuscooks.tv/focus. Day 1 was distributed. I will give you day 2 tomorrow. Okay. What we know, give us what? This day, our daily bread, okay? So I'm going to give you what you need for today because I don't want you focusing on tomorrow. I want you focusing on today. So I'm going to give you each day. Tomorrow morning, you will get day 2, all right? And then the after party, because there's so many comments, I'm not going to be able to get to all the comments like where you are. So the after party is going to be at the Darius Cooks Facebook group. So my director of operations, Marin, is standing by, and she is letting people into the group as you guys join. So by the time we get done going live, if you just requested to go live, to add it to the group, I'm going to go ahead and add you to that Darius Cooks Facebook group, and then we can do the after party over there. All right. All right, what can you expect from this? Okay, what can you expect from this? I want to set very clear expectations on why we're doing what we're doing. The first thing is I want you to get a clearer understanding of a millionaire mindset and the perspectives that go along with it, right? I want to kind of dispel or break some of the things that you may have thought, you may have known, and sort of give it to you real and raw, all right? Also, I want to help you understand a focused decision that is going to purposefully drive your life. I think that's super important to understand when it comes to where you are, right, and versus where you want to be, right? There needs to be some sort of focus and some sort of direction. And my job over the next 3 days is to help you at least start thinking about that and getting you where you got to go, all right? And then number 3 is going to be your roadmap of your next steps to becoming a millionaire. And these are the things you have to start saying to yourself, right? I am a millionaire. You have to start declaring these things because, it is what you say out into the atmosphere that actually ends up manifesting itself, right? So I want to get you the roadmap that you need on becoming a millionaire, all right? Don't y'all want that? Don't you want to become a millionaire, all right? Here we go. Let's talk about success. I'm on slide number 5 if you're following along with me. For a moment, let's talk about success for a moment. Now, I need you, if you're taking notes, which hopefully everybody is, I need you to write down, how do you measure success? All right? That's a big one, all right? I want you to write this down. And I started to give you a workbook, but I'm like, nah, I want you to write this down. How do you measure success? Because here's the big picture. Here's what I want you to understand, right? I want you to understand this. If you do not have an idea of what the destination looks like, you will never know when you're there, okay? If you don't have an idea of what it looks like, I guarantee you, you will not know when you're there. And you also won't know how to trek and see if you're actually on your way. So I need you to write down this question. How do I define success? Now, people define success in a bunch of different ways, right? So one of the most popular things you can do is say, who do I know that's uber successful? Of course, you know, Beyonce, Jay-Z, Oprah, all these people start coming to mind, right? That are super successful. And so one of the ways that you probably could measure success is by money, right? I think money is a great factor in measuring success. How much money do I have in the bank? That could be a measure of success for you. It could be, right? How much money do I have? How much guap is in Chase? How much guap is in SunTrust? How much guap is in PNC? How much guap is in Bank of America, right? That's a good way to measure success. Another way you could probably measure success is by influence. These days, if you got more than 6 followers, everybody's an influencer. Okay? I don't know where it came from, but if you got more than 6 followers now, everybody is an influencer. So the question is, are you measuring success by influence, right? Perhaps how many followers do I have, right? That's pretty cool. I mean, I got a couple, 2 or 3 followers. So maybe you're measuring success by influence. Are you measuring success by power? Who listens to me when I say something, right? Who's there when I talk? Who's listening to me, right? Or are you measuring success by freedom, being that I can do what I want to do when I want to do it? And how many know that when Monday come around, sometimes you be looking up like, is it Monday already? Like, wasn't yesterday just Monday? Like, how is it Monday again? If I had $2 or $3, I would tell this job, screw this job, I'm going to Tahiti, okay? Trust me, I understand, I've been there. I've been in, right? I've been in your shoes a million times. I understand. Like, on a Wednesday, it's like, it was just 7 o'clock in the morning, 4 hours ago. I got to be up again. Like, what is 5 o'clock ever gonna come? Okay, so freedom, right? Can I do what I want to do when I want to do it? So my question for you, and I really want you to take some time and think about this, is how do you, or how are you defining success? Have you ever even taken the moment to do that, right? Have you ever taken the moment to stop and just dream for a moment and say, what does it look like if I am successful? What does that look like? Like, what does success look like for me? And I will tell you this, that I want you to get into practice of dreaming and not doing analysis, okay? I want you to get into practice of dreaming and not doing analysis. I'll give you the difference, right? So when you start thinking about, because if you've not done this, you should probably start thinking about what success looks like for you. What happens is that when you are allowed to dream, you're looking at life. You're looking at your scenario. You're looking at your destiny without condition. Write that down. Without condition. You are not juxtaposing the idea of where you're going up against circumstance. You're not putting the idea of resources, the idea of support. You're not putting any of that stuff juxtaposed. You're not lining that stuff up at all with current condition, right? What you're doing when you're dreaming is you're looking at life in its perfected state, okay? In its perfected state. If you were able to draw up what success looks like, what would that be? And I think what happens is a lot of times we don't give ourselves enough permission to even dream that far, right? There's so many things that are holding us back. There's so many things that we have that are sort of weighing us down that literally we don't even allow ourselves the grace and the permission to be able to dream. If you're looking at your destiny juxtaposed against your current situation, that's not a dream. That's analysis, right? You're looking and saying, hey, I want to become a millionaire, but I've only got $400 in the bank. Listen, that's not dreaming, right? That is simply analysis. And doing analysis only keeps you in your current state. When you're able to look at your destiny without condition, right, giving yourself permission to just go in your mind to that place where you think destiny looks like for you or success looks like for you, that's what we call an absolute dream. That is the picture I want you to try to get in your mind. And for some people, no doubt you may already be there, right? But then there's some people who are like, Darius, you're right. Like I've never even given myself the opportunity to even dream like that. Wow. Like I've never even done that, right? So I think what I want you to do as part of your exercise, as part of your homework, is to say, what does the destiny of my life look like without condition? Who's around me? Who am I surrounded by? Who am I connected to? Who's in my circle? What kind of, I want you to be able to describe the dream so well that you can taste it, you can smell it, you can touch it, you can see it, because that is the place that we're trying to get you to. And if you haven't done any of that, forget about becoming a millionaire, because becoming a millionaire won't do anything for you. A millionaire mindset is all about, where is it I'm trying to get to? That's going to be my focus, is that destiny place over there. So I want you to do that. If you've not had a chance to do that, I want you to sit down, take a moment and figure out, how am I going to measure the level of my success? What am I juxtaposing success against? And I want you to do it without condition. I can't stay here long. I can keep going on and on, but we got to move on. We got a lot of stuff we got to hit. All right. I feel it. Okay. But I got to move on. All right. So what have you heard about success? What have you heard? Right. You've heard that you can become successful if you work hard. Right. What have you heard? You've heard, okay, if you work hard, you're going to be successful. We've all heard that, right? What about this one? What about this one? Find your passion. Huh? What about that? If you find your passion. I lost my car keys the other day. What the hell you mean find my passion? I can't even find my car keys. I put my wallet down somewhere. I don't even know what a wallet is. What do you mean find my passion? I can't even find a $20 bill I had in my pocket. Lord help me, Jesus. Okay? What about this one? Unlock your potential. Okay? There's this thing inside of you that if you unlock your potential and you figure out how to unlock your potential, you'll make it there, right? Or what about this one? This is a good one. And I used to believe in this. Discover your purpose. Huh? Discover your purpose in life, and that's the key to your success. I've heard all of these, and for so long, I have in my mind believed that if you did all these things correctly, then you make it to success, right? But here's the big picture I want you to walk away with. I know a lot of people who say, Darius, I want to be successful, but I do not know what my purpose is, and I do not know what my passion is. There are people who are 30, 40, 50, and 60 years old who are walking this earth and they say, oh my gosh, Darius, I have no idea I don't even know. Like, I'm still trying to figure it out my damn self. Okay? So I've heard all of this, and this gets you to a level of success. I want you to look at the screen or slide number 8. I want to tell you, I did none of this. Okay? I did none of this. I did not. Hard work, yes. Smart work, even better. But I did not unlock my potential and discover I didn't do any of this before I trekked on the way to being successful. And I kind of feel like if you're going to define success by these things we talked about, how much money you have in the bank. When I go to the bank, I deal with the bank manager. The bank manager calls me. Miss Ethel at PNC, Miss Ethel calls me. You see what I'm saying? I'm kind of a big deal at the PNC bank down there. You know what I'm saying? I can count it. If I wanted to hop on the plane tomorrow and head over to Puerto Rico or something, or DR, so I kind of could do that. You know what I mean? So when you look at what success means to you, I want to let you know I got to the place I got to, and I didn't do any of that, right? So the year for me was 2000 and let's call it 11, all right? For those who've been following me for a long time, I'm talking about a long time. See, most of y'all just sort of came on board, but I've had a crew of followers for a long time. For those who've been following me for a very, very long time, I used to have a little cupcake bakery, okay? A cupcake bakery. It was pretty good cupcakes, okay? I have a cupcake bakery in Chicago. I did. I had a cupcake bakery in Chicago. And I remember I didn't know how to make cupcakes. I had no idea how to make cupcakes. And my friend Tina, who was just here in Atlanta yesterday, what happened was I said, I'm going to go home and I'm going to make a red velvet cupcake. That's it. I'm making one. And Tina knew I couldn't bake. She knew I couldn't bake. And so I went home, and this was like 2007 at this point. I went home and I made a red velvet cupcake. And shout out to everybody. I see you. Shout out to everybody from the Cupcake Gallery. I see you. I see you. And so I remember calling my friend Tina. I texted her a picture. I said, Tina, I just made red velvet cupcakes. And they look pretty good. Tina was like, I don't know. I don't know. Okay. So I ended up taking the red velvet cupcake and I put it online. Like I posted it on Facebook. And people were like, oh, those look kind of good. Could I place an order? I'm like, an order? What are you talking about? I don't sell these. I make one kind of cupcake. That's it. What are you talking about? And then, like, people started, like, coming to my house to buy cupcakes. Well, I guess I'm going to learn how to make more than one cupcake. You see, let me figure this out. So eventually I got a few more flavors, and then I got to the point where I was able to open up a whole bakery. After a couple of years, it was 2011. I had literally been burned out. I remember distinctly working at that cupcake shop, and I remember that every time the door would open, the bell would ring, right? And there was one day that when somebody came in and that bell rung, I literally fell over in tears. Like I had a full-on nervous breakdown. I was like, what is going on? I had been moving and moving and moving, and I had got to the point where I was like, I am done with this. I am done. So I shut the bakery down. I sold my truck. I sold all my equipment. And I was on the phone with my attorney at the time, and he was like, you know, Darius, have you ever just had like a vacation? And I was like, yo, you know what? I really haven't. I really haven't had a vacation. Like I really hadn't had one. So he's like, you should probably get away. So at the time I was like, you know what? I probably should. So I'm gonna get in the car. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna drive to Philly. Shout out to everybody in Philly, okay? Because I was fat. I'm still fat. And I said, I'm gonna go and get me a cheesesteak. I'm gonna go get me a Philly cheesesteak from Philadelphia, because that's what I want to eat, okay? From Ishka Bibbles. I need me a cheesesteak and a gremlin from Philadelphia, okay? But I got on the road, and this was before Google Maps. I was using MapQuest, and I knew how to get to Philly, right? Because I'm like, if from Chicago, you go through Ohio, that's a couple of hours. Indiana first, Ohio, a couple of hours. Going through Pennsylvania take 19 years, okay? So I finally made it through Pennsylvania, and the next thing I saw was like New Jersey Turnpike. So I was like, oh, wait a minute, what's this? So clearly I had missed my exit for Philly, but I was like, the Turnpike, okay, let's go to New York. I might as well go to New York then, right? So I go to New York, I go to Newark, New Jersey, Route 21, McCarter Highway. Shout out to everybody in the 973, okay? So I'm in Philly, I'm in Newark for a little bit. And I'm in the city, I'm eating in the city, I'm walking around, I'm being a regular person. And it was time for me to end up going back. I had to go back to Chicago. It was time for me to go home. And I remember like saying to myself, I don't really feel like going back to Chicago. Like to me, Chicago didn't feel like home anymore, right? So I'm sitting there like, what I'm supposed to do? Like I don't really have like a lot of money. You know what I mean? Like, what am I really supposed to do with myself at this point? And so I was like, well, maybe if I find a job, let me just see. Now I hadn't worked a real job in a couple of years. Let me see. So I'm in New York. I put a resume online on a Tuesday, okay? Wednesday morning, I get a call from a guy named Vishnu Dewan. Okay, Indian dude called me and say, hey, I saw your resume, want to bring you in for an interview. Okay, fine, whatever. I go for the interview on a Thursday. Vishnu calls me back on Friday and offers me a position for $75,000. Okay? I said, wait a minute, 75,000? Just like that? So literally, my life changed in like 4 days. I started on Monday, right? So I started working as the payroll manager at CCFA, Crohn's and Colitis Foundation of America. I met some really great friends. One of my really good friends, Lenora Houseworth, we're still friends to this day, right? But something, I'm working, I'm doing my thing, I'm having a good time, I'm back and forth in the city, living out in Jersey, doing my thing, doing the commute, everything's great. And something, I don't know, like after a minute of doing this, like something on the inside was just like, I don't know, Darius, like, you sure this what you cool with this? Like, you good? Like, you good with this? You okay? And I'm like, I don't know if I'm good with this or not. Like, I don't know. Something about this is just like, I don't know, man. Like, something is just not hitting me the way it needs to hit me. So I said, you know what? Let me go and cook something. Let me go and cook a little something. Even something on the inside, like, let me go and cook. I went on Craigslist, found me a little piece of videographer, put up me a little piece of YouTube video, and that was it, right? I was like, you know what? Let me just call myself Darius Cooks, I guess, all right? And that's just kind of how it all started. But let me tell you, right? So I'm going about my everyday life, and suddenly there's something happening that's like tapping me on my shoulder, like, hey, bro, you good with this? Or you good with something else? And so I'm like, well, let me just explore it a little bit and sort of see what happens. I had no idea what was coming. But I remember at one point saying to myself, I'm good at a whole bunch of stuff. I was doing spoken word poetry. I was being featured doing sport. I was doing a whole lot of everything. But I was like, I ain't never really seen no rich poets before. But I've seen people that cook that are rich. So maybe if I kind of follow and do some of that, something is going to happen. I don't really know. You know what I mean? So I can vividly recall something hitting me in my shoulder and saying, Darius, go and cook. It was this thing that was sort of burning on the inside of me, right? It was this feeling that literally I felt like I had to explore in order to get there. Okay, I want you to hear me very carefully on what I'm saying, all right? There are things that were burning on the inside of me, just tapping me on my shoulder, right? And sometimes through the busyness of life, you can't feel the taps if you're constantly moving. Sometimes through the busyness of life, you can't hear the voices if you're not still enough. So sometimes you've got to get yourself to a little bit of a place where you can become sensitive to what direction destiny might be calling you, right? Through the busyness, through everything that's going on. And so sometimes if things happen to change, right? Or if there are people that happen to be around, that's either a situation that's sort of pushing you out the way, or you need to push the situation out the way. And again, you're never going to understand any of this while you're in it, okay? And from someone who organizes and designs systems for business, you can't design a full-blown system for business if you're in the middle of operating the business. Sometimes you have to step back a little bit, look down on what you're trying to organize in order to see how one piece plays into the other. For me, this was never about passion. This was never about purpose. I didn't know what I was passionate about. I had no idea what this full idea or what this full purpose was. I didn't know any of that. All I asked myself was a key question that's on the screen, and that key question was, what am I good at? That was it. It wasn't about what's my purpose, what kind of potential is there, am I going to unlock my passion? It simply was one question. What am I good at, right? And so let me be the first to encourage you in this way. I want you to realize that success really ain't even about passion, and success really ain't even about purpose. Success is literally about asking yourself one simple question. What am I good at? Take a moment and write that down. If you're taking notes, take a moment and write that down and ask yourself, what am I good at? Just write that down. Don't answer it right now. Deal with it later. Write it down. We got to keep going. Let me encourage you one other way really quickly. I'm a God dude, okay? I know sometimes I don't act like it, but trust me, I do believe in God, right? There is a key scripture that I happen to be so fond of, okay? Is there anybody watching me right now? Are you a creative, right? Or creative? Do you draw, do art, do you cook, do you sew, do you make clothes, do you write stories, right? You're a creator. So you make stuff out of thin air, right? My creatives that are out there, right? You make stuff, right? Oh, there's a lot of creators. I see you. There's a lot of creatives. Oh my God, there's a lot of y'all. Yikes. You crochet? Shut up, you don't crochet. There's a lot of y'all. I love it. I absolutely love it. You make music, good. I love it. Creatives, hear me carefully. Those who are not creatives, listen to what I'm about to tell you. One of my favorite scriptures is Genesis chapter 1, verse 26. Goes something like this. Then God said to us, let us make man in our own image. I love that, right? Because what that means is that if I am creating something, I'm creating it for a purpose. If I'm creating something, aren't I making something for some specific reason? Like all of my creatives that I just asked you if you were out there, you don't just create something and have no purpose for it, right? You don't just create something and have no use for it, do you? You don't just say, I'm gonna sit down and sew this, but I don't know what I'm gonna use it for. Typically what happens is that there's some foresight in your mind. And you say, there is a need for X. I'm going to take the one thing I'm good at and I'm going to solve that problem. Am I right? Isn't that what we all do? I realized there was a need, shameless plug, there was a need for vegan food that was relatable. I realized that didn't exist. So I said, I'm gonna create it. And I created a whole vegan cookbook called Vegan But With Soul. You can download a copy of it right now by going to DariusCooks.tv, and you can pre-order the physical book at the same website. Use the code GUMBO to save 30%. But I created it, right? Here's the big picture in saying all of this. Do you think you were just placed on earth haphazardly? Do you think you were just dropped here with no specific idea that someone had in mind that you were going to be used for? I don't think that people who create things do so without having an intended purpose for what it is they create. Congratulations. All of us have an intended purpose for the reason that we're here. Lucky for you if you know what that is. All right? If you don't, keep listening and keep watching. We'll get you there. But the biggest thing I want you to understand was that success for me was not about what is that one thing. What is that big picture? Success for me started with one simple thought, and that is, what am I good at? All right? Now let's go a little bit further, because now we've laid some foundation, all right? Once you realize, and I'm on slide number 12, once you realize the thing that you're good at, Here's what I want you to do. I want you to build an audience and then monetize it. Just write that down. Build an audience and then monetize it. We're going to unpack all of this in 1 second, but I want you to build an audience and then monetize it. We're working our way towards success. That's what we're doing, okay? When I first started, for those who've been following me, when I first started doing this whole idea of DariusCooks.com and DariusCooks.tv, all I said I was going to do was just create recipes and put recipes out on the web. That was just it. That was it. And what I said I was going to do is, like, I was going to create stuff that didn't really exist. So, like, why would I create another chicken soup recipe if there's already a million chicken soup recipes out there? It didn't really make sense for me, right? So what I said I would do is create something different. So I would do, like, chicken soup on a stick or something, or, chicken soup pot pie or something. I don't know. We figure out chicken soup dumplings, we'll figure something out, but it wouldn't be the same thing that already existed. In doing so, and putting out this, what we call content, you're going to hear this word a lot. All right, for me, the word content. And putting out this content, what ended up happening was people became attracted to what I had. There was no offer to buy anything. I didn't have a place on my website where you can go buy anything. I'm not sitting here asking people for any money. I don't have an exchange for a product. All I was doing was creating content to build an audience. Eventually, I figured out how to monetize it, all right? So I can't stay here long because I could spend the rest of tonight and tomorrow talking about monetizing, but we'll get there, all right? So the key question on slide number 13 is, how do you offer your product or a service? This is masterclass. I'm about to go real fast, okay? Stick with me. How do you offer what you're good at? So in order to make money, right, online and do what we do, you got to do one of two things. You either have a product or you gotta have a service. Write that down. You gotta have a product or you gotta have a service, one or the other. Or you might have both or a combination of both. Here's what I want you to think about. So all my people who are entrepreneurs and you're struggling with your revenue, you wanna become an entrepreneur, or you wanna up or 2x or 3x your revenue, here is the formula on how to do that. The first thing it says on slide number 13 is add value. Add value. What are you doing with what you're good at that adds value to someone else's life? Plain and simple, right? And I know we have a million people who say, I'm gonna do a t-shirt, I'm gonna create a butter, I'm gonna create a candle. All that is fantastic. But the answer that you need to understand is, the question is, how are you adding value to someone else's life? Okay, that's the first part. Let's keep going and I'm gonna bring it all together. The second thing is solve problems. Okay, how are you not only adding value, but solving a fundamental problem for someone else? How are you doing that, right? How does your product, your t-shirt company, your cleaning service, your butters, your this, your that, how are you solving problems for someone else? I get that we want to create these things that are absolutely amazing, but how are you adding value? How are you solving problems? And ultimately, how are you generating revenue? Let me give you an example because I believe in case studies. All right, let me give you an example because I believe in case studies. One of the best examples of a product that adds value, that solves a fundamental problem, and that generates revenue is the Apple iPod. Okay? The Apple iPod is probably one of the best ideas that not only solves problems and adds value. How does it solve a problem? Y'all know them CDs get to skipping, okay? When Boomerang came out, and Tony Braxton sang, "Love should have brought you home last night. You should have been with me. Should have been." You wore that song out on the CD, okay? And then if you live in a city where it snow Then you got the potholes. So when you go over the potholes, what end up happening? The CD been done skipped, okay? How many of us been in traffic on the expressway with the knee, you steering the wheel with one knee while you looking over in the thing over there, trying to find where the CD is so you can put the next CD in there, okay? You got to go look through the whole thing. You about to wreck your whole car. I mean, you about to wreck your whole car because you trying to go in here and you trying to look for another CD, okay? And let me tell you something. Y'all know y'all used to get them CDs from Columbia, the club. What was the club called? You get 8 CDs for 99 cents and never sent them a check for the rest of it? Don't play with me. BMG, that's what it is. BMG, come on, tell the truth. Shame the devil, okay? Listen, you were able with the iPod to literally walk around. Some of y'all like, yes, I remember. And the book club too. Don't think you didn't read them Zane books and them Elan Harris books and them Kimberly Lawson Roby books and them Eric Dickerson books. Don't play with me. Some of y'all Sunday school teachers reading Zane. Don't do that. On the bus, on your way home from work. Do not sit up here and lie to me like this here, okay? We're going to tell the truth around here. Now listen, the Apple iPod, what the iPod did was it literally allowed you to walk around with 50,000 songs in your pocket, all right? That is clearly solving now a fundamental problem, right? Now, we'll get into this a little bit later on, but you need to understand this. Everybody has either an identity that they want to express, right? Or they have something that they want to belong to, okay? Everybody has. If you want to understand the psychology of how people spend money and you want people to spend money with you, you need to understand that everybody has something they want to express, right? And they always have something that they want to become a part of. Becoming a part of the Apple Club is amazing. I'm streaming live right now on all Apple devices. I am apostolic until the day I die. Raised Baptist, but converted to apostolic, right? Because that is how I choose to not only express myself, but that's the club. That's the value for me of being a part. When Apple decided to create a product that solved a fundamental problem, not only that, but they also had figured out people's psychology of their buying habits and how they wanted to become a part, bam, the revenue was there, okay? I'm giving you fundamental key corporate secrets. It's there. That is the strategy. Once you figure out how to add value, once you figure out how to solve problems, that is how you generate revenue. And if you don't believe that people have this thing they want to belong to, why do we have Target versus Walmart? Doesn't Target and Walmart sell the exact same thing? When you think about it, right? Doesn't Target and Walmart sell literally the exact same thing? But you go to Target because Target makes you feel a certain way. I know I shop at Target because it makes me feel like a little bougie a little bit. You see what I'm saying? I don't go to Walmart where they roll back prices. There are people who are more price sensitive that may want to go to Walmart, and that's okay. Because you can still thrive as long as you understand how to solve a problem and how to add value. Okay, I gotta move on. We'll learn more about this in the 8-week masterclass. Okay, so how do you do it? Okay, if you got your slides, go with me to page 14. Okay, and I gotta go over this real quick. We'll go more into detail with this. But once you say to yourself, Darius, what am I good at? And this is how millionaires think, okay? This is how millionaires think. I remember when I was on like having a conversation with somebody about something, and they said to me, "Oh, you should do so." Something had come. I forgot what it was. Something come up. They said, "Oh, you should do this, that, and the third." And I was like, "No, I'm not." What I would do is learn how to perfect it, train other people to do it, start a company, market the company, and then sit back and just collect a coin. Like, that's what I would do. And if you don't believe that I sit back and collect the coin, I don't have to make any of this up. And this just happened to be on my desk. And I'm not flossing or anything like that, but I don't have to make any of this up. Like, what I'm telling you is the God to honest truth about how millionaires think. Our mindset is not a mindset, and yes, I know you're gonna say, those are all ones. No, these are 100s, these are 50s. This is a stack of 20s. These are stacks of 20. I know what you're gonna say. I know what you're gonna say. I know you're gonna be like, I don't know, okay? But listen, and I normally don't floss, but I want you to understand that the way I look at my business is almost like an ATM. I create literal systems in the business, and when I want to take money out the business for something, that's exactly what I do. But I do that on slide number 14 by what we call a simple sales funnel. Okay? If this is your first time hearing this, I know this is like, what are you talking about? Sales funnel, like, what is this? I got to give you the information. A simple sales funnel. And you know what a sales funnel is. You just don't think you know what a sales funnel is. Okay? You know what a sales funnel is. You just don't think you know what a sales funnel is. Let me give you an example. We all have been to McDonald's before. We may not go now, but I still go for a little piece of fry and a little piece of that new chicken strip that they dip in the barbecue sauce. That's anointed. And every once in a while, I do get the steak bagel with no egg and don't use the bagel, put it on the English muffin. And the hash brown, can I get an extra one of those? And the sweet tea with extra ice, because it'd be too sweet. Okay? We go to McDonald's. You go to McDonald's and you say, let me get a cheeseburger. What do McDonald's say to you? Did you want to make it a combo? Do you want to add fries and a drink to that? And you go, maybe I do. Great. Would you like to supersize that for just $1 more? And you go, well, you know what? Since you asked me, why not? Great. And we have a promotion for $1 more. You can certainly have a dessert, your choice of chocolate chip cookies that are warm, or perhaps one of our apple pies. Well, shit, I might as well since I'm here. That's a sales funnel, people. That's what a sales funnel is. That's it. That's all a sales funnel is. Now, sales funnels can get very complex or they can be very simple, but the idea is to bring people into your business and keep selling to them over and over again, okay? I think their insurance companies do this really well. I heard this example the other day where you might go to an insurance company when you're just starting out, when you're 16, 17 years old, right? When you go for an insurance company, you probably just got a car, right? So what'll happen is that they're probably gonna sell you their lowest product, which is insurance. You all need auto insurance, right? But what happens when you turn 19, 20, 21 and you get your first apartment? They might say, hey, you've been with us for a while. Guess what? We have renters insurance as well. And you go, well, I guess I could get a little piece of renters insurance, right? And then what happens when you get your credit together, finally, 27, 28, 29, and then you go and you buy a home? Guess what you need? You need homeowners insurance. Same company, you're in a sales funnel. They start you with a product because you became aware of something. They offered you another product, offered it to you again, offered it to you again. I'll tell you one more sales funnel example. I bought a home, I closed on my house 2016. Now, my house is worth more than what I paid for it. Every week in the mail, I get a piece of paper to me that says, hey, Darius, you have XXXX in equity. You want to refinance for a loan? That's a sales funnel. That's all it is a way to get people into the business and then be able to constantly sell. You want to do what's called increase your like, your know, your trust factor. The reason y'all watching me right now is because you either like me, you know me, and you trust me. Do the exact same thing with where you spend your money. If you're going to have a millionaire mindset, you have to be able to do the exact same thing with what you are good at. This is what we go over in the 8-week course. Now, what I really want you to focus on is where this arrow is. The sales funnel, we'll talk about all that later, right? We'll get there. But I want you to focus on where the red arrow is leading you to on slide number 14. It's leading you to traffic. Oh my God. It's leading you to traffic. What is traffic? What is that? It's not the thing you sit in on I-85 if you're in Atlanta. If you're in Chicago, it's not the Dan Ryan or the Eisenhower. It's not the, if you in Houston, it's not the Parkway, okay? It ain't that, okay? If it's not the 105 and the 110 and the 5, the 405, it's not any of that, okay? That's one idea of traffic, but here's the deal of what this traffic is. You want to be able to, whatever you're good at, lead people back to a space that you own that is not tied to social media. Ooh, this is good stuff, okay? You want to be able, with whatever it is you're good at, you want to be able to lead people back to a space that you own that is not social media. Because guess what you don't own? Facebook. Guess what you don't own? Instagram. You don't own YouTube. Yesterday, I had 257,000 followers on Instagram. This morning, 252. What them 5,000 followers went, I do not know. But what I do know is I've done enough stuff to get people to my website that they know about me, and I've captured their email address so I can communicate with them. That much I know. So what I want you to focus on for the next 7 minutes of our time together is that little space that's called traffic. Because what we got to do is figure out, how do we get traffic? What is traffic? Like, how do we get it? And I'm going to tell you something that we're going to expound on later. Traffic is good, but targeted traffic is even better. What do I mean? I could be driving down the street. If I'm in Houston and I see Shipley's Donuts, I could be driving and say, oh, look at that. That's a Shipley's Donuts over there. I did not know Shipley's was over there. Mental note, now I know. That's traffic. Targeted traffic says, I want a donut. I want a Shipley's donut. I know exactly what Shipley's is. I'm going to Shipley's. Two different things. When it comes to what you're doing and what you're good at, it's great for people to go, oh, look, macaroni and cheese. That's amazing. I didn't know Darius made macaroni and cheese. And the video has 18 million views. Oh, this is really nice, right? Oh, fried chicken. I didn't know Darius made fried chicken. This is amazing. That's traffic, right? Targeted traffic says, I seen this recipe online. This black boy that's kind of fat, he with the bald hair and the beard. I seen him make the macaroni and cheese. It was oozing out. I'm going to get the recipe. I'm making it this Thanksgiving. How many of y'all could associate with that mindset? Okay. How many of y'all make the ultimate macaroni and cheese as your macaroni and cheese for your family every holiday? Okay. You know what? I know I seen him smother some cauliflower in gravy and he said it was vegan. And you know what? I got to try this. That looks so good. And if I'm gonna go vegan, I might as well go vegan with something that sounds good. That is targeted traffic. You see what I'm saying? There's a difference between regular traffic and targeted traffic. So listen, the way you get to targeted traffic is by what we call content. Now, these are the 4 things I want you to do when you create your content. And we'll talk about content later on, right? But this is your millionaire mindset. Because in order for you to get to the point where you're making $1 million consecutively, time after time after time, you've got to engage people in some kind of way. So the first thing you're going to do when you create your content, just write this down and we'll unpack it later, okay? Is you have to focus, you have to educate, right? So focus on providing valuable information to your followers and help them understand who or what you are. Oh my God, what are we doing right now? Is this not education? When I go live at night and I'm drinking, a margarita, or I'm drinking and I'm showing you a different way to use cauliflower, don't you walk away going, no, I didn't know. How many people make rice the way I taught you how to make rice now, and now your rice comes out amazing every single time? That's education, right? I created content that made you go, I learned something. I learned something. I didn't charge you for it. I didn't ask for your credit card. I simply created content that educated you. Okay? Secondly, empowering, right? When you think about, there's 4 of these. When you think about what you're doing when it comes to how you create your content, you got to make your audience feel really good and provide simple tricks and tips that help your audience. That's why we sit back and have a good time. That's why we sit back and we do what we do online, because I want to make you feel warm. Why do you think we sing, let the vegan in me, love the vegan in? Y'all love that. And now, when you at home chopping up your onion, don't you be singing a song a little bit? Like, let me go and sing this a little bit. You see what I'm saying? It's absolutely amazing. All right. The third thing I want you to do when you think about your content is I want you to, all right, we got 4 minutes. I want you to entertain, all right? That's the reason we drink. That's the reason we laugh. That's the reason we do what we do, because I want to entertain you. I want to create content that helps your audience unwind, laugh, feel comfortable, and smile. That's why you watch me, because there is an entertainment element. If I was dry as a bone, you would be like, I can't watch him. He might be able to cook, but the Negro is boring, okay? So we don't do that. And then we do, lastly, engage. Create content that requires your audience to give feedback, express opinions, or leave comments. Here is the one thing I want you to walk away from: engage. The way you judge engagement is by how many comments you have, how many likes, and how many shares. That's how you judge your engagement. How many people decided to leave their email address underneath the post on social media? Engagement. I forced you to engage. When you see the cheese oozing out, you've got to comment. The other day, I tested engagement. I took a stand for Jennifer Lopez. I could care less. I took a stand for Jennifer Lopez on my personal Facebook profile and said, I think Jennifer Lopez did a fantastic job at the Grammys. 1,000 comments later, guess what? We had engagement, okay? So when you create comment, or when you create content, you wanna make sure that you're doing all 4 of those things, all right? And obviously we do that through what we call social media. So I'm on slide 20, and I'm gonna have to stop because we only got a few minutes before Instagram cut off. So listen, the idea, like I said, is always to bring traffic and bring people back to your actual website. We'll talk about that stuff later, okay? Listen, this is the millionaire mindset. Instagram, they're giving me the countdown, 1 minute and 41 seconds left. I'm gonna end you, Instagram. I'm gonna restart you, okay? Y'all give me 5 more minutes and we'll be done, I promise you, all right? I'm gonna end Instagram real fast, and then I'm gonna restart it, okay? So hold on 1 second, Instagram. Let me end you. You know, Instagram wanna give you an hour. They only give you an hour. And we've been on here for a while. Okay, here we go. All right, Instagram, you back? All right, Instagram is coming back. Has this been good? Has this been good for you? Do you feel blessed? Do you feel like you got something tonight? Okay? You feel like you got something? Good. 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 Because they don't tell you all this stuff. Nobody tells you any of this. All right, let me finish up. Here's the deal. This is the pre-course. This is the pre-work to this 8-week program I'm going to be offering. The 8-week program is going to be called Business Baseline. All right, this is a Business Baseline Masterclass because I want to give you what you need to build on top of the business. That's why it's called Baseline, right? So listen, it's an 8-week course, and these on slide number 21, these are the things we're going to go over. Picking and packing up, brand building, level 1 and 2, social media 1, 2, and 3, content that converts, and 6-figure launch, profits in your pre-sales. I know a thing or two about 6-figure launches. I know a thing or two about profits in your pre-sales. Who's made $200,000 in pre-sales on a vegan cookbook? Thank you. All right. I know a thing or two, Doc. I know 2 or 3 things. So we're going to run over all of that. Check it out. 2 options if you want to attend the 8-week course. All right. There's 2 options for you. The first option is we're going to go live every Wednesday. Okay. Or you can do a self-study that's going to be available for you every Thursday. All right. It's completely up to you. We're going to also do the weekly group coaching. It's going to include your weekly group lesson. I'm going to bring you inside of my businesses, how I create systems for Soul Crab, for Greens and Gravy, my credit restoration company Above 701, my content that I create, who's on my staff, who's doing what. Believe it or not, I have full-time employees that actually work for me. There's 69 employees on my payroll, okay, throughout all of my companies. So we'll dig into all of that stuff. And then once we get done with the 8-week course, I'm going to do a mastermind group. So you have the option to join the mastermind group, but you got to go through the 8-week course first. And the reason you got to go through the 8-week course is because when we start talking about APIs and native, and we start talking about Facebook ads and talking about retargeting audiences and audience sets and all that, I want you to know what that stuff is. So it doesn't make sense to come to me for our group coaching and you haven't done the foundation. So listen, the pricing is this, okay? Regular pricing for the 8-week course, $797 or $125 a week, your choice. The self-study option is $497 or $75 a week, right? I'm giving you, I always cut you a deal. I always cut you a deal. Here is your deal, okay? This is your deal. For the special pricing until Sunday at 11:59 p.m. This is Sunday, February 22nd, okay? February 22nd, you can choose the live option for $597. So I'm gonna let you save $200 and you can do the live option for $597. If you want to do the self-study option, you can do it for $347. Your choice, okay? You have until the 22nd of February, all right? Listen, if you're ready right now, you can go to dariuscooks.tv/focus and you can sign up and you can pay right now if you're ready to commit. The page is there. The 24th, whatever it is, the next Sunday. All right, come on, y'all. All right, it don't matter. Next Sunday, you'll get an email. Don't worry. But won't I email you? Huh? Who's gonna email you? Will I not send you an email? That part, okay? So listen, if you're ready to sign up, you can do it by going to dariuscooks.tv/focus, and you can sign up right there. All the information's there. Check it out. If you got questions, email me. We're good to go. All right. So let's end this on a positive note. In conclusion, what I want you to realize that success is never about your passion. It's not about your purpose. So if you're thinking that in order for me to get to success, I can do that by understanding what passion and purpose is, I want you to unthink that. I want you to get rid of that stinking thinking, all right? It's about what you are good at, all right? Number two, I want you to always look for ways to monetize what you're good at. We'll get there. But if you want to make it to become a millionaire, the first thing you think about is, how do I monetize this? What am I getting out of this? How am I monetizing what I'm doing? The third thing is you do it by using social media. This thing I'm talking to you right now on, all right? On social media. So listen, no doubt you guys might have some questions for me, and I want to answer your questions. Do me a favor. Let's see if, let's call Marin, and let's see if Marin is letting people into the group. Let's see. Let's FaceTime her. She didn't know I was going to FaceTime her. She works for me. She's my director of operations. And let's see if she answers my FaceTime. She ain't answering my FaceTime. Go meet me at the Darius Cooks Facebook group. She ain't answering me. Let me send her a text. Hey, are you letting people in the Darius Cooks Facebook group? ? All right, let's see what happens. Because she clearly I don't know what's happening, okay? Well, she's off the clock, but, we work, that's how we work around here. We work till the stuff get done, you know what I mean? All right, let's do Q&A, Darius Cooks Facebook group. I'm going to let y'all in. Go over there on Facebook. I'm about to log on right now to the Darius Cooks Facebook. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, cool. All right, y'all. I'll see you over at the Darius Cooks Facebook group. Give me a few minutes. I'll be over there. Bye. Let me get off here. Let me see. End this. See you, Periscope.